All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the DFS 5-pack. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome Tuesday here on the 1st of September. My lord, the Tiger King was over 5 months ago, Bellman. Where does the time go?
Yeah, wow, that's a wowzer. It seems like it was just yesterday. On the same hand, it feels like it was a couple years ago. We'll take it though. We're so busy now. We're loving it, and I'm loving how much action we're getting on these overlay videos. People asking both of us like all day when they're dropping. I'm loving it. It's getting me pumped about it. I'm hyped to talk this slate with you, man.
We're going to do NBA and MLB together on this video. We're going to start with NBA. So we'll probably dedicate about 10 minutes to each and wish everybody the best of luck today. We do got the progressive jackpot back up over 4K for the $22. The MLB one continues to grow close to $6,500. And guys, we did our first NFL first looks video yesterday, so it's already up and out if you want to take a look at it. We will do it again when we get closer to the season. Psyched to talk it over with you. Let's get into the NBA today, sir.
Let's do this.
All right, man. So I'm a little bit disturbed the fact that I got stuff to do tonight. Hopefully, I can get done with it early enough to watch the back half of this. But man, this Utah-Denver has been one hell of a series. In a first round of the NBA playoffs, where 6 of the series were, well, 5.5 of them are garbage. The Clippers-Mavs was good at first, and then all the injuries piled up. This Utah-Denver and OKC Rocket series have been a real treat to watch. So I'm intrigued by Utah-Denver tonight. And we got Donovan Mitchell, who you've always been a big fan of, and I've definitely grown to love more throughout the series. Up against my boy Jokic. What are you thinking right here?
I like Jokic here, man. I think Denver takes this game, and I think it's Jokic's show tonight. I think he steps up big time. Very few players on this slate I think ahead of Jokic.
All right, so I'm actually going to agree with you and tell you the reason that I think that it happens here. So Jamal Murray has gone berserk the last 3 games. It is as good of a 3-game stretch as I remember anybody playing. Well, every pundit on that I've heard talk NBA after the game was like, why are they not forcing the ball out of Murray's hands? Force the ball out of Murray's hands. Force the ball out of Murray's hand. And the whole defensive plan all series was don't lose to Jokic. Don't let Jokic beat you. I mean, I get a feeling Utah, kind of caves to that and really forces the ball out of Murray's hand. And Jokic has an easier path to success tonight. So I'm with you on this one.
I love it. Let's get it.
Speaking of which, we go up to the next one. Jason Tatum, Jamal Murray, 2 up-and-coming studs in the NBA. What's your thoughts on this one?
Definitely 2 up and coming studs. That's my thoughts. Tougher. Oh, man, my gut says Tatum, but I probably won't pick it. How about you?
I'm going to go with Murray. I do think that they forced the ball to Murray's hand right here. On the other hand, I think Toronto play is as hard defensively as you can see them play in a kind of a must-win situation. You can't go down 2 games to nothing. And Toronto really pooped the bed early in that game. I have a lot of respect for the Raptors and Nick Nurse. I think they play super hard tonight, make life really, really difficult on the Boston Celtics. And Jason Tatum, as much as I like him, like the Raptors, you saw them make adjustments on teams last year. They're really good at that. I think they make life difficult on him tonight. So I'm going to take Murray by an eyelash.
Okay. I don't hate that at all. I mean, listen, I expect Toronto's best effort here, so I don't disagree with you at all on that point.
All right, moving down. This is a tough one. Kyle Lowry versus Spicy P. Your boy Siakam got into huge foul trouble early, was never really a factor in this game. I love a bounce back spot from Siakam. This is a tough one to pick because these guys are so even on a nightly basis. But I'm going to go with Pascal on this one.
I'm going to go Pascal also. Yeah, it's very tough, but I like a bounce back spot for him. We know that you can get to Boston inside. I like him in a bounce back spot here. He hasn't been great recently at all, but I like him. Right.
All right, next up, Gobert versus Van Vliet. This is kind of a little bit more of the theme. The weird part about Gobert is he has not been very good in this series, except for like 2.5 quarters. I think that was the 3rd game or the 2nd game. I can't remember which one it was. I know you liked him that day, and it was by far the best he's looked all series long. So I'm going to go with Van Vliet. I expect a turnaround bounce back performance offensively from him over Gobert, who other than the day that you liked him has really been kind of a no-show.
So he has, and I'm torn here, but I still think I'm going to lean with Gobert because I didn't mention this when we talked Tatum and Murray, but in a Game 7 type situation, I think you see both defenses step up big time. And not only that, I think the offenses are a little bit not timid, but I think you see more missed shots in this game than you've seen. So I like Gobert here to clean up.
I think that kind of that point is what fascinates me about this Game 7 tonight. Are Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray, are we going to watch the show that we've been seeing? Are we
No,
going to see the defenses step up? Or are we going to see one of them like rise to the occasion and the other one falters? It's probably the most intriguing thing about this entire game for me.
I don't think we're going to see like 50 from each side again. But again, I mean, I didn't think so last game either, so who knows?
I mean, I haven't thought so every game, but
Yeah,
what these two young men are doing is special. And no matter who wins this series, still kudos and much love to the guy who comes in second right here because you really got both guys have been incredible and have really probably marked their spot on the NBA and gained a lot of fan appreciation, which they deserve.
yeah. I think either of these teams get swept by the Clippers now, though, especially because they've spent so much energy on this series. Like the classic, I just think the Clippers roll here, rested. Uh, they're getting it together. Do you disagree? I know we've talked about this a little bit.
I think the Jazz push the Clippers more than I think the Nuggets do.
I get that. So I don't like disagree with that, but I also still think that the Nuggets are slightly more talented than the Jazz.
Part of it is how quickly does Gary Harris get up and running because they played him decent minutes last game. He's their best perimeter defender, and they're going to need him to help stifle, Lemon Pepper Lou, the Claw, PG-13. Like without Gary Harris, it's going to be a bigger struggle for the Nuggets because it takes a big hit to their defensive. Like Porter Jr. is stuck to the defensive liability. That changes what they do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just don't think either of these teams have much more of a chance to win more than like one game, honestly, especially against our healthy Clippers. Like, listen, it's the NBA. These teams are good, but this is the Clippers' time. And we've talked about it a lot. It's probably going to be Clippers-Lakers in the Western Conference Finals.
Wow, I mean, we've all been saying that
Yeah.
for almost a full calendar year right now for good reason, right?
And both of the other series in the West are going 7 games, hard-fought series. Like, to be perfectly honest, I can't really see Houston or OKC beating the Lakers either.
No, me either. All right, we'll keep moving down here. Jaylen Brown versus Kemba. Give me Kemba. This one's easy for me.
Kemba.
Kemba's jumping off my TV screen lately. All right, Marcus Smart versus Serge Ibaka. Smart's been playing better.
He had a good game last game. So did Ibaka. Ibaka, a lot of that due to foul trouble for Siakam. A lot of it due to be Gasol sucking now. So I'm not sure what to make of Ibaka. I know you've been on him a couple times recently.
Yeah, he's won me some money in the opening series, but I don't know why they don't play him more minutes.
I'm not sure either.
I really like the guy, but they just don't seem to be setting him. Marcus Smart plays more minutes. The thing I said about Smart, though, I am looking at Smart tonight on pay sites, but like he hit 4 threes last game, which I think is double the number of threes he hit against Philly. That's just not his game very often. He's improved his 3-point shooting, but when he's off, he's off. I think you're going to see the best of Toronto tonight.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm still leaning Smart, though, is like just a number of minutes. He just plays so much more.
Man, I'm not interested in all that much in Boston here. Like, I'm with you. So here, all you need, though, is for him to outscore Ibaka. I'm still going to go with Ibaka. Like, I'm not personally going to be on Smart tonight, and I don't want to have him here either.
I have really talked myself out of picking this one. I'll just tell you that much. All right, moving down from here, MPJ versus Jordan Clarkson. Give me Jordan Clarkson. Michael Porter Jr. had decent DK points last game only because he had a plethora of rebounds. I don't trust him to be in this game a ton. Gary Harris has got another game back where he can pull some wing minutes away from him. I'll take Clarkson, who's been steadily consistent.
I'll take Clarkson, too. It's rare to say Clarkson's, like, safer than almost anyone, but he's safer than Porter.
He's been very safe all series. Even after Mike Conley came back, he's still getting his.
Yep.
And he's really cut into the next one, which is Jingly Joe Ingles. Look, Thies had the game of his life last time out. He was awesome. He had more rebounds last game than he did in the series against Philadelphia, so don't expect him to do that every single game. But Ingles hasn't done anything since Conley came back, really, so give me Thies.
Yeah, Ingles has just been awful, and I don't expect nearly the same game from Thies, but I'll still take him over Ingles.
I mean, when you got Clarkson playing well, Conley playing amazing, and Donovan Mitchell playing like an MVP, it's just harder for Ingles to get the ball. He's a very good playmaker, but he's like now 4th on the pecking order, and he's not touching it much.
Agreed?
All right, Powell versus Anunoby. Give me Anunoby.
Yeah, give me Anunoby, too. He's just more needed because of his defense.
More consistent. Millsap versus Royce O'Neal. Look, guys, Millsap had one really good game, but he has You talk about like guys looking old and slow, and sometimes they can get it up for one game. You've been hard on Gallo. He finally had a game last night. I've been hard on Millsap. He had one good game. I can't trust Millsap. What about you?
That Gallo last night is messing with my head though, because he was shooting early and often too. He took 3 threes, missed them all right away, and still was really aggressive. I could see this being a spot where Millsap continues to be aggressive, and like I trust O'Neal more, I guess, but like not that much more. And I like the upside for Millsap, so I'm gonna go Millsap here.
All right, I'll go with O'Neal for the floor. O'Neal at least plays big minutes, so he can run into things. I mean, that's the biggest point I can make from him. He doesn't touch the ball much because, well, why would he? You have much better players on your team for that.
It's the classic example of like a guy who has usage but he doesn't play a lot versus the guy that plays a lot and doesn't have usage.
Yeah, and two-man basketball is going to be a thing tonight with Murray and Jokic, so I don't think Millsap touches it a ton either. So I'll go with O'Neal, but not like a ringing endorsement.
Fair.
All right, Monty Morris versus Marc Gasol. So here's another one where I'm a little bit torn. I do think the masses would go with Marc Gasol in this one. I'm going to go with Monty Morris, and my reasoning is his minutes have been sporadic the last 3 games. In fact, I think if you look at him, he's played like 30-some, 20-some, and in the teens. However, I think they are going to force the ball out of Jamal Murray's hands tonight, which is going to force him to be a little bit more of a playmaker.
I'm with you. Gasol looks awful right now too, but oh god, I won't pick this one. I'll lean Morris with you though.
All right. So after that, we got Gary Harris versus Torrey Craig. Harris played decent minutes last game in his first game back in forever. Did not look great offensively, and he's another guy. He ain't going to touch the ball much, but either is Torrey Craig. Craig had his best game of the series, but much like Royce O'Neal, he does nothing offensively. So this is the battle of who sucks at DFS less right now.
He does even less than Royce O'Neal, I think. Give me Gary Harris.
Yeah, because Gary Harris is the better player. I'm with you on this one. All right, Wanamaker versus Niang. Wanamaker played a lot of minutes last game. Now, he's still not going to have a role, like way more than normal. And a lot of that may have come in the end of the fourth quarter, but still, like, it was competitive enough that it was only a few minutes that came at the end.
Was it only a few minutes? Like, they were up like 20 in the fourth. Didn't they lose like half the fourth quarter run?
Maybe half, but if he played 25 minutes, that means he still played 19 before that.
Yeah, I mean, he's the backup point guard. I'm going to take him here. I'm not that interested in him on pay sites, but I like him here.
I could actually see Toronto rolling here. And with Kemba hurting his knee again last game, that's a possibility that Wanamaker, if the game's not competitive, playing a few more minutes later.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I don't think that's the likeliest outcome, but sure.
I mean, if I'm battling between two guys who aren't going to play much, at least give me something. I expect Utah and Denver to be a game, which means I expect a short rotation from Utah tonight, which means Conley, Clarkson, Donovan Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Rudy Gobert, Joe Ingles. I mean, you're going to see those 6 guys playing the vast majority of the minutes.
Agreed.
Yeah, game 7 versus game 2, right?
Yep.
And Kemba did get a little banged up. He re-aggravated that knee. I still think he's out there balling as much as Kemba can, but I don't know. Something. All right, Terrence Davis versus Ojale.
I mean, this is another one. It's tough. I'm going to go Ojale, but I'm not excited about it.
Oh, God, how could you be? I think I forget who Kyle Korver took on yesterday on here. And, I picked Korver, especially once Eric Bledsoe was out. And once I saw Korver hit the 3 threes, I'm like, I forget who he's up against, but I remember thinking, if you hit 2 threes, it's enough. So 3's got to make me gold. That's how I feel about this matchup right here. 3 rebounds, a putback, and a steal, and I think it's enough to win this one. So give me Ojale, who played a little bit more last game as I try to go big.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yes, to whatever you just said.
All right. I'll take Robert Williams over Plumlee. I brought up Robert Williams on the public show today because he played a lot of extra minutes last game. After that video was done, I had an opportunity to talk to my Celtics guy. He expects much of the same from Williams. Probably not as many DFS points, but similar type of minutes. So I'll go with Robert Williams.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on Robert Williams here, too. He's getting a decent bit of buzz in the industry.
Yeah, I think it's an intriguing fade, but, we know what Plumlee does, which is play about 12 minutes right now.
Yep.
All right, let's head out and talk about baseball.
Yeah, can't wait for baseball.
All right, Zach Plesac versus Michael Pineda. This one's easy. Give me Plesac. I'll actually pick this one.
Yeah, give me Plesac.
How about Tim Anderson versus your boy Mancada?
Ogata's been like out of the lineup recently, so
With
if he's
Robert and Jimenez playing so well this year, imagine if Mancada starts raking. This young offense is fun.
pretty sure he was raking, or he is raking this year. I'll take Moncada.
Overall,
I'll
you got
take him.
Mancada?
Yeah.
All right. I like the platoon advantage for him, being that he's a lefty. Yeah, but you definitely had me start looking at the White Sox to start the year, and they got some young studs on this team.
Yeah, they're.
I'm gonna go with Anderson in the leadoff though.
I get that.
Grandal versus Jimenez. Give me Jimenez.
Give me Jimenez too, but I love the platoon advantage in these.
All right, Mazzara versus Jake Cave. Let's not spend too much time on this one. There's a really good opportunity. One of these two guys doesn't make the lineup.
If they are, I'll take Mazzara, but just a hunch.
All right, Kepler versus Polanco. Oh, this is Keuchel. Give me Polanco.
Yeah, Polanco for sure.
All right, Eddie Rosario versus Marwin Gonzalez. Again, give me Marwin Gonzalez. He's got the switch hitting platoon advantage.
That's all it is.
Sano versus Gurriel. Gurriel, easy.
Sano's been really good though.
I do not like Sano against Keuchel personally, but you're right. He has been good.
Like he has been really good. So I'm hesitant to just lock in someone against him, but I do like Gurriel more today.
All right, Chu versus Nick Solak.
Solak.
I'm with you. Trevino versus Elvis Andrews.
Trevino.
I'm with you again. Springer versus Altuve. Springer. Tucker versus Correa. Tucker. All right, I like the agreement here, my young man. Hunter Dozier versus George Soler.
I'm gonna go Dozier.
Me too. Soler's always the high upside guy with the ability to hit home runs, but I will take Dozier here as well. Ryan O'Hearn versus Maikel Franco.
Franco, he looks pretty good right now.
Agreed. Adalberto Mondesi versus Nicky Lopez. Look, we called out Mondesi the other day, and he's looked god awful since then, but it's Nicky Lopez. Give me Mondesi.
I'll still pick him over Nicky Lopez, but he is like on the verge of getting benched, I think.
I just saw him on the waiver wire in one of my year-long fantasy leagues, and I didn't even try to pick him up.
That's all. Yeah, tells you all you need to know.
All right, Cesar Hernandez versus Carlos Santana.
Santana.
Give me Hernandez. It's a close one, though.
For sure.
Just like the next one. Ramirez versus Lindor.
I won't pick it, but I'll go Ramirez.
I'm with you as well. Luplow versus the Shields. We'll just kind of move past that one. You have to see the Indians lineup, and who even knows that they're both on the lineup.
Yeah, agreed.
Abreu versus Whit Merrifield.
Abreu.
Yeah, Pineda hasn't pitched in a hot minute. Give me a break.
And like Merrifield's good, really good, but Abreu's better.
Abreu's having a great season too.
Yeah.
They had a great weekend, which makes the season look great. So it's a very good season, but one of the best weekends you can remember. Mm-hmm. All right, Yastrzemski versus Blackman. Oh man, Blackman has just gone ice cold after just being amazing to start the year. Give me Yastrzemski.
Give me Yastrzemski for sure.
Story versus Arenado. I'll go with Story. I don't think Colorado's going to go off tonight, so I'll take the stolen base threat.
I like that.
Murphy versus Hampson.
Oh, Murphy, but don't like it.
I'm with you.
Like Murphy's been like not playing every day either.
Yeah. Belt versus Longo. Belt, that's an easy one for me.
For sure. Belt.
Dickerson versus Flores.
I like Dickerson. If it were a lefty, it'd be easy Flores, but against a righty, easy Dickerson.
Sure. And then Brandon Crawford, who as bad as he is, has only been pretty bad this year instead of really bad, versus Ryan McMahon.
Give me Crawford. I like Sam Fran more today, and he actually has not been horrible since a really bad start to the year.
Yeah, he's been masquerading as an average hitter for the last couple weeks.
Yep.
Which is, for how hard we are on him, that's actually a compliment.
Yeah. I mean, he can always pick it, too. Like, he makes very good defensive plays.
Yeah, there's a reason he's still starting. Is because he is an elite defensive shortstop,
Yes.
and he's had offensive moments. It's just been years since we've seen him.
You know what? He reminds me a little bit. This other guy is better, Andrelton Simmons. But Simmons is also a guy, if you remember, like at the beginning of his career, he was like one of the worst hitters around. And then he had a few years where he was like really good. We were using him in DFS a lot. And then it seems like this year and last year, he's been awful again.
Yeah, the Angels are always awful.
This is
All
true.
right. That's what we got for today, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. The name of the website is overlaydfs.com. Got a lot of different contests up there at your disposal. Go get in where you fit in, boys.
Yep. Thanks, guys.